Outside groups launch million-dollar TV ad blitzes today, hitting both of Kentucky's U.S. Senate candidates, where polls show they're vulnerable.
Political reporter Theo rates the claims in his latest reality check.
In Washington, Allison Grimes would help Obama.
Get used to this message. The conservative group American Crossroads says the word Obama 7 times in just 30 seconds.
Grimes backed Obama's re-election, even after Obamacare threatened jobs and our Medicare.
This is an old claim, and it's still misleading. The Affordable Care Act does not cut Medicare payments to people. It does promise cuts to private insurers and hospitals if they don't meet certain goals.
Grimes endorsed Obama's party platform, his war on coal, Obamacare, everything in between.
This needs clarification. Grimes did support the president's re-election in 2012, but what about these issues? Grimes repeatedly says she doesn't support the president on coal, that she mostly supports the health care law. And then there's this word, amnesty. As we've explained before, the immigration bill referenced here wasn't Obama's plan at all.
Sure seems Mitch has Washington working for him and not us.
On the other side, the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee is spending more than $1 million this month in Kentucky alone. And this is what they're paying for you to hear.
You or Mitch? After 30 years, who's doing better? Mitch has voted himself 6 pay raises.
This, too, needs clarification. McConnell has voted to allow automatic pay raises for members of Congress, including himself, and his pay has more than doubled over his 30 years in office. But the ad suffers from a case of selective memory, as McConnell has also voted against pay raises several times. Let's get back to the ad.
And here at home, incomes are down 9%. Kentucky has fallen to 44th in jobs and lost over 43,000 manufacturing jobs.
Kentucky ranks near the bottom in unemployment, partly a result of lost manufacturing jobs during the recession. But the ad doesn't make clear what role McConnell played in that. I'm Theo with this Way 3 News Reality Check.
The biggest crowd ever, the most media here to cover it, and all of that added up to a lot of pressure.
If Mitch McConnell were a TV show, he'd be Mad Men, treating women unfairly, stuck in 1968 and ending this season.
Allison Grimes told McConnell jokes. McConnell's comeback, Grimes equals Obama.
His campaign raised millions from extreme liberals. Sound familiar? I mean, he really didn't have any qualifications at all. Sound familiar?
The Senate candidates were the main event, and if they were distracted by a potentially record-breaking crowd of 20,000, you couldn't tell.
That's to change the Senate and make me the leader of a new majority to take America in a different direction.
The candidates made no mistakes, but they played it by the book. Rand Paul? No way. He recited anti-Grimes poetry.
One thing that we know is true, one thing we know is guaranteed, she'd cast her first vote for Harry Reid.
Governor Steve Beshear got laughs when he went for this selfie with McConnell.
I'm sorry, I just had to get one last photo of the senator before Kentucky voters retire him in November.
2 candidates to replace Beshear in 2015 were here before Ag Commissioner James Comer made it 3.
So TJ and I have chosen this time and this place to say to all of you, I will be a candidate for governor in 2015.
Comer says he's waiting until early September to name a running mate. Some came to Fancy Farm more for the barbecue than the politics. And then there was this guy, Gil Fulbright. He's a fake candidate played by an actor in Kentucky to parody the high-stakes, big-money Senate race.
She had a lot of money floating around there, $100 million in one state for one Senate. That's a good job.
And there are 2 people who want it dearly. Sadly, if McConnell and Grimes can't agree on a debate, this is going to be the last time that we see them on the same stage together in the fall campaign. That's our coverage of Fancy Farm 2014. Theo Way 3 News.
Well, Kentucky's only scheduled U.S. Senate debate included a lot of talking over each other and a few revealing answers. Political reporter Theo is live in Lexington tonight, where the debate wrapped up not that long ago. And Theo, what did you take away from that 1-hour confrontation?
Scott, both candidates avoided the big mistake, the type of one that could change this election. Grimes definitely came out more aggressive, even interrupting several times. McConnell often smiled at her answers and then said that they just weren't factual. The candidates were side by side for likely the last time in this race.
Grimes, go! Go, Grimes, go!
Big partisan crowds lined up in Lexington.
Kentucky needs Mitch!
Come on in.
Senator, good to see you.
Nice seeing you.
Good to see you very, very much.
For Allison Grimes and Mitch McConnell, it was 1 hour of rare off-script debate.
Secretary Grimes' whole campaign has been designed to deceive people into thinking she's something she isn't.
Senator McConnell's 30-year record, it's gridlock, it's obstruction, it's extreme partisanship.
KET's Bill Goodman asked the question that has dominated the race in the past several days.
Why are you reluctant to give an answer on whether or not you voted for President Obama?
Bill, there's no reluctancy. This is a matter of principle. Our Constitution grants here in Kentucky the constitutional right for privacy at the ballot box, for a secret ballot.
McConnell also had to answer about an issue he's been criticized for, what to do with the state's Connect healthcare website if he's successful in repealing the national health law.
And you would support the continuation of Connect?
Well, it's a state decision. Several states had it.
But would you support it?
Well, that's fine, yeah. I think it's fine to have a website.
He didn't offer a specific solution to the 500,000 Kentuckians who got insurance through the site, while Grimes says she would keep the law but extend the clause that allows people to keep their doctors. The debate often got testy, especially over the Obama administration.
They have crushed the economy.
Bill, if I might, I think it's worth noting, I hate to interrupt, but under this administration, we've used this administration over and over again. Senator McConnell fails to see he has a role in all of the jobs that have been lost here in the state.
Afterward, the McConnell campaign said that it had expected Grimes to come out the aggressor, but that tonight her talking points ran into facts. The Grimes people said that Secretary of State Grimes looked good. She had a strong performance against a senator who appeared angry.
That this was a trouncing that no one saw coming. You even have to wonder if the McConnell people saw the margin being this far apart. Not certainly after $80 million spent in this race and how competitive it was, at least through the summer. McConnell saying afterward that his campaign ran a perfect race. Rand Paul, though, chalked it up to something else. Mitch McConnell trounces Allison Grimes in a way that no poll forecast.
Secretary Grimes ran a spirited campaign. She earned a lot of votes, and she earned my respect. It took a lot of guts to take on a race like this. Because of the business we're in, it also meant she'd take some heat.
It was over very early, even before all the McConnell supporters got in the door of his election headquarters. But they grew louder during his victory speech, which included a message to any voter who believes he is out of touch with Kentuckians.
I've heard your concerns. I've made them my own. You will be heard in Washington.
Rand Paul called McConnell the next majority leader of the U.S. Senate, even with control of the Senate still in question. Paul says Congress will send President Obama bill after bill until he wearies.
If the president insists on vetoing bill after bill, then in 2016, the people will rise up and reclaim our heritage and elect a lover of liberty who will restore the values of our founding fathers.
It sounded like the first speech of a presidential campaign, but Paul says no, at least not for now.
Is that you, or can that be another Republican?
Could be a lot of people. I want to be part of that message, and we'll figure that out in the spring.
For Paul and McConnell, the race was about Obama from the beginning until the end.
It's time to turn this country around. And I will not let you down. Thank you so much.